Howdy, everybody. My name is Grant. I am here with Nick
Hello.
and Noah.
Pittsburgh was awesome. I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
It was so cool. Um, Today on the episode, we're just going to be talking about pretty much just YCS Pittsburgh the entire time. All three of us went with a big group of our team members. We had varying stages of success. We'll get into that in a minute. But overall, I think that the YCS was a lot of fun. And I think the format genuinely improved quite a lot. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's much, much better than where it was.
I'd agree.
From both like a watching perspective, because I went back and watched some of the matches that interested me, like while I was there, and also like after I got home, and also just from playing in it, because like I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh this weekend, and it was pretty good. I had some good times playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Loved it.
Nick, do you want to just knock yours out first?
Yeah, I can go first. So I took Memento to YCS Pittsburgh. I genuinely thought the deck was a good option, especially with how the original experience had been going leading up to Pittsburgh. And genuinely, my run wasn't amazing. However, I don't know if I want to blame that on the deck choice because a lot of the ways I lost throughout the weekend were kind of not really because of the deck or like because of like outstanding circumstances. Generally, like the losses I had throughout the weekend were as follows. My first loss was to Malice because
Malice.
in no because game three my opponent was going first and I had drawn three Charmies in my opener and they proceeded to set two cards and pass. So like I kind of got punished for drawing well. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's not much to be said
especially
there.
against Malice specifically. Like, oh, we put in all the Charmies against the fuck off combo deck, and they said two pass, huh?
Yeah, and then I just lost to getting hit with double hand trap, and I couldn't play through that. If I had one more starter, I probably would have like just won the game on the spot. I just didn't have it. And
Hmm.
then I
If you could
lost.
have drawn into it, for example, off a Charmy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Um, then I lost to. I got a double loss to Dracotail or Brandon Dracotail in round six, solely because me and my opponent were talking, like leading. We only had 2 minutes left on our game three, and it was clear that like if given the opportunity, we both were willing to scoop our game, but a judge politely reminded us like, hey, doesn't really matter what the circumstances are. If you think one person was gonna win or not, time's been called. It's a double game loss, so that just is what it is. We were both very willing to scoop, but didn't really have the opportunity to do so. So
Yeah, you gotta like nowadays you have to give it like that 5 second buffer when you scoop, just to like make sure you do it in time as to where it's not cheating.
No, literally both my opponent at points where I'd lost and my opponent lost. It's like, just let me know if the clock hits 30 seconds. I just want to play this out to play.
yeah, so like again, we were both willing to scoop and all that jazz, but it is what it is. And then the
Yeah.
my round seven loss is the one that like this one really
That was bad.
this one infuriated me, but it's like this one just kind of took me out of contention for getting into top cut regardless, most likely. I'm playing against Mincy Yummy. He wins game one. I win game two. We go to game three, and he establishes the full board because I Fua and he ashes it because it's classic. So
Let's go!
and I would have probably cracked his entire setup, but we go into an exchange where I go active fusion. He goes Bell. I'm forced to call my Bell so I can play, and then he flips up the singular cross out and goes cross out called call by, and I was like, this is how my run has to end today. So I lose to that, and then I probably should have just dropped it at that point because I could have made day two. But I go into round eight, and I'm mad. I'm kind of frustrated that like my entire day of my losses were like kind of out of my control. Like I didn't do anything wrong for all the ways I lost throughout the day. It just kind of happened. And then I played against Gem Knights, and that's an entire. I just kind of shit the bed on that matchup. I probably could have won. I just played like an idiot.
Hmm.
So that was my weekend.
I
God,
mean,
the one of for the one of that is crazy.
yeah, it gave up a good chunk in Master Duel when you were like pass on nothing and then your opponent would max C again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just unfortunate. Um, yeah, I don't know. Not too much to say about that.
Yeah, like
Nope.
again, I'm not mad
But it
with
was
the
a
deck.
good day of Yu-Gi-Oh overall.
Yeah, like I like when I was playing the game, I enjoyed myself. Like I thought the deck choice wasn't bad and anything like that. Like I genuinely thought the deck I had taken was the correct choice for me at least. I probably would have done better, and it probably would have been a lot easier if I just took Brain of Dracotail because the deck is kind of, at least on the surface, a lot easier to just pilot like consistently throughout the day. But so be it.
And with that, Noah, you want to go over yours?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I took Branded Dracotail, and I made the last-minute decision to switch out a Cartesia for a Fallen and the Virtuous. I kind of wish I had played more of it.
We were sitting in our Airbnb room, and we were going over Noah's, mine, and our buddy Gerchak's deck lists, and I was trying my damnedest to convince him to play more copies of Fallen and the Virtuous.
Yeah. It's just the issue was just extra deck slots because I did the same thing at the regional where I brought canines and they were I don't know, they got dropleted. I don't know how else to say that, and I don't know.
That's so
that was
fucked
probably
up.
just good calls for the event from my opponents. So like what are you gonna do?
Droplet was like kind of low key crazy this weekend, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I won my first, I think 2 or 3, and then the next round I lost to the mirror, and it was, I don't know, really. I drew 2 traps, and I was like, "Oh, I drew 2 traps. What a fucked up day." And then I talked about it with Rico afterwards, and we worked out like, "Oh yeah, if you just like did a Typhon line, you had it there." So that was a good like sobering experience, I guess, to be like, "Okay, could have won if I were a better player. That's fine." I think I lost the immediate next round to Malice, where I don't think there was a damn thing I could do. There probably was. Oh, I know what I could have done. I could have read Adagnister Achichi or whatever the red one is.
This is so dumb.
I still can't believe
literally,
this happened.
I can't.
Sorry.
After the Pankratops incident, I can believe this happened.
I'm stupid, all right? You guys got to get that through your brains. No, I was playing against Malice, and I was just playing the keep him off bodies game. He has 1 card left in his hand, and then he goes, and like my interaction is spent. I had to like Arthalion bounce access code, and then he goes, okay, because I control or I have an Adagnister Engrave, I'll special a Chi-Chi Adagnister, and I'm like, oh, cool, I just lose. And apparently, Chi-Chi Adagnister does not do that. Very interesting little tidbit I learned right after.
For the record, for Noah's Kasi ID, we don't think he cheated. We think he just fucked up.
No, I don't because like I don't know. I straight up just assumed that Cyber's card had effect of Link Monster Engrave or some shit like that. You could special summon this.
You chose not to read it though.
Yeah, that is true. I should have read it.
Yeah, Noah definitely fucked up.
Yes, I definitely fucked that up. For 100%. And then the next game, I think I could have won if I had done. I forget. It was like, it was. He had access code up, and like I had already done 3 separate chains on res, but he answered all of them. So the answer was like chain flame to target the Mouse and Underground that wasn't doing anything, and then chain Gulamel pop, but then he just kind of immediately went access code banish ransom, and I didn't want to be like for the 4th chain go back. So I probably, I don't know if that would have won me the game, but
it probably would have.
Yeah. So I lost that one. Played against. What did I play against? I think a couple Dracotail next, which, very fun, very enjoyable, always a good time. Wow, I stopped after round 6? What the heck?
That usually only stop when you lose out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, then Pure Mitsu. He just talenced me during game 3, and I just 5-minute dumped the whole hand, and that won me the game, which was pretty awesome against Mitsuyami. All the Mitsuyumis I was playing against today were 40 card, and that kept throwing me off.
Were they 40 cards in playing the small package or 40 cards in playing the large package?
I remember seeing Futsu game 1 time and Acro K another time, so I I don't.
Players all
I
over
don't
the
know.
fucking place, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. Literally, it did not occur to me until I think my round 7 or something that like, oh, why is he not putting up aggregate with Snatchy? Oh, he's on 40 card Mitsuyami. That's probably why. I did end up beating Malice, which was really awesome.
So you're like
it
1-5 against Malice now, huh?
Yeah, 1-5, baby. It was literally just because I was like, Bell's the only interaction in my hand. Bell, Ball Drake, Target, Chessy Cat, and that he just didn't have bodies after that, so I killed him.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Then, no, it was, and then probably my favorite round was my round. It was my round 7, and I did lose, but I just went Fua. He was doing Mitsuyami things, and then like end of May, and I went K9 to Tiris, and then he just had to keep playing, so I didn't keep getting so I just kept getting draws, and admittedly, my draws were kind of bad, but it let me play like a 10 card hand into the full Mitsuyami board, and I came really close. I think I'm forgetting the exact game state, but there was something I could have done to win it. Like a trigger I missed, I think a pan or something, but that doesn't matter. And then game 2, I go Branded Fusion and he just scoops. And then game 3, he just puts up a Herald, and that's, what a shame.
The game.
Yep. My round 8 was really okay. It was definitely round 7 because round 8 was really funny. Guy was doing full Mitsu Yummy combo, and my only interaction is an Ash that didn't matter and a 5 mana and 2 names. And then he goes Zombie Vampire Mill 4, and I have to 5 mana before he puts up the Herald, so I'm like, okay, we'll 5 mana here. And then I didn't even check my graveyard for the Zombie Vampire until I was thinking on Lion targets, and there was a Nib in there. So I just added the Nib back, and I went Nib, and it was awesome. And he was really happy about that, and really happy with me for the rest of the set. So much so that I had to remind him to sign.
Yeah, listen, I can't blame them. I would be very upset if this happened to me. It's like, I do Zombie Vampire Mill just to play the game. It's like, oh, I got nibbed because of it. That's crazy.
No, to be fair, it was not just so he could play the game. He normaled Cupsy and then did Zombie Vampire with 2 Mitsu 8s.
So he got punished for his
greedy.
hubris.
Yes, exactly. It was actually a genius play on my behalf.
Goad him into misplaying.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and then round 9, I actually played against Gem Knights, if you'd believe it.
It's the same guy that played against me round 8.
Wait,
yeah,
that's so fucked up. What the fuck?
I know, right? And he beat me too, because I was like, man, I think I heard once somewhere that you send Gem Knights first. And then he went Escados, or whatever its name is.
Escatos, and then just called Dragons.
Escados, damn it. Yeah, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Swift 2-0 there.
No, he called Worm on me, so I couldn't summon Combined Creation. It was a fun time.
Oh, that's pretty evil.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, and that was I didn't day 2. I went X4. I was in it for a lot of the day though. Like it was just wheels fell off at the end there, which is okay. It happens. I'm pretty proud of how I did overall. I'd like to think.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had a lot of fun. I was not doing like crazy stuff, mostly just because I was like, oh, this loses to everything, so I won't. And then games 2 and 3, my hands were either just so good or so bad I couldn't lose or win.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot of me deciding trap interactions, and I really liked that. It was very fun.
Yeah, again, Drake does a fun deck when you're playing the game. I really like it. So.
Yeah, and I did not. Did I get Retaliating Seed?
If you didn't, you were the luckiest bastard on this earth.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't think I got Retaliating Seeds. If I did, I immediately scooped. I didn't get Shifter. I didn't get Deified. This is some good ass Yu-Gi-Oh. No, but yeah, lots of fun. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, pretty cool game.
All right, we can go over mine now. I will be yapping for a minute.
No,
I made day 2.
I think we could actually just skip over.
Yeah, right.
Day 2?
That's crazy.
Whoa.
Shut up. I'm happy.
I'd be happy.
Again,
these people.
I have no problem. You can revel in your happiness. You get like a week to 2 weeks of reveling, and then we have to pull you back down to reality.
No, he'll just go He'll just go X3 by round 6 at his next regional, and then we can make fun of him here.
That's true. That's true. I've been doing. I've been doing that. Hold on, I can feel he's.
Matt, keep that in.
So I made day 2. This is the first time I've ever made day 2 at a tier 3 event, which is really cool. I did it with Sulfa Yummy. I put the deck profile up. I believe by the time this is posted, it'll be last week. So we will link that in the description for all of you who want to see it. It is very similar to my list from the regionals previously, with a couple of changes. But yeah, I have like my Twitter thread in front of me, so I'm just gonna go through it. First round was Mitsuyami. The guy didn't seem particularly like crazy. I'll phrase it like that. He was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Next round was against Mitsuyami. I did a fuck ass line game 2 where I didn't actually make Herald immediately. I put the Marcher and the level 1 on field, and then I like passed with like a Snatchy on field. So that way, because I had Droll in my hand, and I wanted to be able to Droll and make Herald, because Herald turns off your ability to make Droll. And so he goes, cool, main phase, first action, Dark Ruler, and I was like, hang on, wait a minute. So then I go, sure, Surprise Reborn, Snatchy, make Herald, or Droll, and then I do that, and then he's like,
Yeah.
that's not good. And then we go to game 3, and this game 3 is so fucked up. This game 3 is so fucked. I purge his initial Herald, so he does like starts the Yummy cards, does the combo. I purge his first Herald. He goes, that's good. He then puts Samsara and level 1 on the field again. I nib there. He puts it all in the graveyard. He makes like an SP, banishes my nib, mistake, and then passes. I draw, Sam I'm in. I have 2 Marshmallow in my hand, so that's why,
pretty good.
So I go Marshmallow effect to summon, normal Marshmallow, make Link 1, and then I just start playing the game. And I go for a Cupsy search to grab Cupsy and like Cookie, and then he drolls me, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, this is fine. I'll just bounce my guy, put Marshmallow on the field, then go Marshmallow to place the other field spell, because I had started with Acro K to out one of his back row. Well, so I go Cupsy effect, put up Marshmallow and Snatchy, and then I go Marshmallow effect, and then he goes cross out called Marshmallow, and I was like, oh.
That's pretty good.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, he's gonna live
so now I can't. Yeah, so, and like I'm looking at my hand, and I'm under Purge too from the previous turn, so I can't. He has a Cupsy in defense mode, and I cannot out it. I don't have a way to get over this thing. I'm looking at like an SP that doesn't do it. I'm looking at a Link 3 that I cannot make. I'm looking at cards in my deck that do it that I cannot search. And so I have to like pass on like a bunch of yummy names, and then he just like does a combo and he beats me. It was so fucked up. Maybe the worst cross out of my life.
Man, Crossout got
Crossout was the house of the
Crossout
weekend.
got both of us. That's insanity.
It's real. And so I'm 1-1 at this point. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. Next round is a match I was destined to lose but didn't. It was against Mitsu, Malice, Adagnister. Game 1, he goes Shifter, and I have like 2 Bell, Droll, Premoa, and Surprise. And so like fucking nothing, right? And so like he goes Shifter, he does like a little bit of a combo. I draw Imperm off the top, and I literally just pass it back. He does go for a pre-prep, and I bell the pre-prep. He does a little bit of a combo. I droll him. I use bell. No, I hold the bell. He makes like the Cryptor OTK where he's got like a Cryptor on the field, and then he'll go Cryptor, target it, Cryptor banish itself, bring itself back, and attack again. And then he does this, and I use the Imperm I top decked on the Cryptor to drop its attack back down from 5k to 25. And he was like, I don't know if that's how it works. And I was like, I know that's how it works, but we call a judge to confirm. And the floor judge comes by and it's like, its attack will stay at 5k. And I was like, I don't think that's correct. I would like to appeal. For in fact, that's the first time I've ever appealed a judge call. So we get like an assistant head judge. He comes by and he's asking this question. He's like, all right, it will drop back down to 2.5k. And I'm like, good. Look to my opponent. Are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And so he's like looking at his field now. And like I get the impression he really expected to just win there. And to be honest, like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
So he makes like an SP and passes back to me. He has like very little follow up. He has like March Hare, and that's really it. And I have the second bell in my hand, so I just pre-Moa 1-card combo to win, and then he March Hares at some point, and I bell it, and then I just win off that one.
That's just crazy.
I am simply goated. I should not have won that one.
Yeah, probably not.
You
but
sharked your opponent like a
sometimes-
good opponent.
Sometimes it just works.
Sometimes your opponent like fucks up. I don't even know if he fucked up there. Like he
Just
only
didn't know
lost
the
to top
rules on
deck
his
Imperm.
cards.
And then game 2, I Fua him, and he like takes the challenge. Now I don't know, viewers, if you know this, but Malice into Yummy is a deck where you can pretty much just take the challenge. Because I only have so many pushes. The happiness only helps so much. So he does
Wait,
like
doesn't Cookie Book go insane into
yeah, they're all links. He did that intentionally. He knew that when he asked the question.
That's true. I might have done that.
So I have like a bunch of guys. I purge early in the turn because what? I'm gonna wait on purge, and then I proceed to draw all 3 Ash Blossom. I have like 2 Dark Rulers, and I have a lot of redundant engine. He also has Di-Fi. Not good.
That's pretty bad.
So I Dark Ruler. I don't remember what specifically happens, but I Dark Ruler. I purge like 07. He smartly uses his negated allied code to banish Cryptor, like just to attempt to negate something. So just so he can bring the Cryptor back while it's not negated, because it didn't point to anything. He uses that to out like an Acro K. I surprise bounce back a lot of his stuff. I end on like I'm able to clear his board entirely. I end on like Link 1 level 1. He goes normal summon Dormouse, I book it, and that's like the end of the match. It was insane. I should not have by any stretch of the imagination won that match.
Huge.
They again,
Big.
the Yu-Gi-Oh gods wanted you to win, man.
Like that's literally it. I don't have an explanation other than that. Next round gets branded. I open 4 names Bell, and then he's like does his combo, and it's like he like normal summons a Looper. So I'm like, well, fuck. And then I draw a card off Cupsy, and it was Ash Blossom, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I
My
Ash
God.
branded Fusion. That was awesome. Game 2, he does the combo, and I don't have enough hand traps. And then game 3, I do the thing where I retaliate. I do my like setup. I retaliating see him, and he spends like every card in his hand to out the retaliating see, and then I have Ash Bell to stop like his play after that.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Next round was yeah, it's not bad. Next round was Draco Tail. He just scoops
Let's go.
before he doesn't even commit to the board. I open really good, but no Yummy names, so I can't really play into his board in game 2. And then game 3, he 5 metas me, but my hand is like a lot of gas, so I'm able to SP his Ketu, Acro K pop his Rahu, and I judgment his normal summon.
Oh my God.
He's like normal summon Malulu, and he goes normal Malulu effect, and I'm like on summon negation window. He's like, you cannot fucking be like saying that.
Yeah.
Round 6 is Sulfacord K9. I think I just play bad this one, to be honest. I don't know what happened. I just did not play good. Game 1, he has crazy gas. I have like some stuff, but it's not enough. I think if I used it differently, because I had like Ash Imperm something. I think if I used it differently, I was fine, but I just saw Sulfacord card, so I assumed he was on Yummy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That one would have been a
I
good
think that's a fair assumption, personally, especially considering that you have been playing and a lot of people have been advocating for.
Yeah.
Those cards are only like pretty like all right and Yummy.
Yeah. So game 1, my cat just fell off my lap. She's
No.
good. So yeah, game 1. I think if I didn't, so I saw him normal summon Primo, and I'm like, all right, I gotta spend all of my energy outing this, like making sure he doesn't have a thing past like the first level 1. And then he just like activated Jokel, and I was like, well, fuck. Game 2, I just did my combo. Game 3, he did his combo. That's pretty much it for that one. He was pretty normal though. Round 7 was Mitsuyami. I droll, he passes. Game 2, he does fucking combo on me, and then game 3, I just do the combo. That's how like a good chunk of these like later in day one matches go, where he does his combo, I do my combo, and then he does his combo, but I had a hand trap.
Sweet.
Next one is against Mitsu K9. Again, this is pretty much the same thing.
Huh.
I do the Fua board, and the Fua board's really good in the K9, and then round 2 I droll him, and then that's it. Last round of the day was against Millennium Dracotail. Yeah, Millennium Dracotail. So he activates fucking like Rahu, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll ash this. And then he goes Golem, and I'm like, what?
Uh-huh.
So the goal of this is to make is to make a cross sheep with the Dam Dragon. It was pretty interesting. I won one of the games off the back of me understanding how cross sheep works. So he went like bring back an Arthur Lion and then activated cross sheep, and I went surprise target the 2 fusions that cross sheep pointed to, and he was like, well, damn. He was like, how did you know that? And I was like, I play Manadium. I know how cross sheep works.
Wait.
That's insane.
Yeah, cross sheep.
So it has to be pointing to it.
It has to be
Cross
pointing
sheep
to on resolution.
Yeah, cross sheep checks a
Okay.
point of resolution.
Interesting.
That's why it's
'Cause
so
it can also-
because you can
Yeah,
ogre it too. Like,
You can.
I did not know that. That's crazy. Huh.
yeah, it's insane. Doesn't come up very often. When it does, it's game winning.
Yeah. And then he played around Retaliating Sea by making like the Magistus Omni before I got a chance to Retaliating Sea, and Retaliating Sea was my only hand trap, so kind of just sucks.
Yeah.
And then that was the end of day 1. I made 192nd place, so I show up to day 2. Round 1 was an Aura Farm, opponent no-showed. It was Mike. What was his last name?
Albanese.
He was an Albanese, like he's an old pro. He just, I assume, like didn't care about, like couldn't top, so he didn't care and just didn't show up. But I Aura farmed him. That's what I'll say. Next was K9 Crystron. I droll. He doesn't have a good play. I Fua gives me no draws and then nibs me on my turn, and then on game 3 he just opens kind of shit.
Yes! Let's go!
Round 12 was kind of weird, and no hate to my opponent for this one, but he just like did not seem like he was very like practiced in the Yummy mirror, because he was on like pure Yummy, and there were several times where I have like a level 1 on the board, and if he booked it or if he popped it, I just scooped, and he would just be like, that's fine. I'm like, okay. Or like I activated Happiness and he had Herald up and he was like, I think that's fine. I'm like, okay, dog, sure.
That's just crazy.
So it's just like, yeah, I just better than him, to be honest. Like sometimes it's just how it is. And then game 2, I Ash Obedience Schooled. He flips Anti-Spell. I have like a droll and a cookie, so I just do like a medium combo. SP out the other back row that's not Anti-Spell, and then he draws Hornet Drones for turn, so that's like the end of it.
That's so funny.
Round 13, another like is the Mitsuyami. He does a combo, I scoop. I do a combo, he scoops, and then I do a combo, and he has double Dark Ruler, so like there's not a whole lot I can do into that.
But
And then-
that was your first loss of day 2, so that's not bad before the last round. Like,
Yeah, no, I was feeling okay. And then round 14 was against a Yummy Mitsu as well. Game 1, he straight bricked. This one was funny. So he straight bricked, but I opened like kind of suboptimal, so I wasn't able to like win the game on the spot.
we
He
also
had like
got
enough
drolled,
hand traps to
didn't
keep
you?
me off. I might have gotten drolled. I don't quite remember. That sounds likely. And so I do like a combo. I pass back on him with some stuff, and he like top decks Ritual Spell, so he plays the game. And there comes to a point where I need to remove a Habakiri on the field because he has Mirror and a Aramasa, and if I don't remove this Habakiri here and now, or like by some like cookie method, if I don't do this, he just gets to go for Zombie Vampire into
Whatever the
like
fuck
a
he
Yummy
is.
name into probably like FDK. So I'm sitting there like kind of worried, and then I'm like fanning through my extra deck because I have like material on field, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, I know, because I'm like sitting there like I can't really bounce back a cookie at this particular, or I can't summon a cookie at this particular time. It's on the field, and so I'm sitting there like, oh my fucking god, I know what I need to do. I have a Snatchy, a cookie, and a Lollipo on the field, and so as he does an effect, I go Lollipo bounce, summon Snatchy, a guy. I then go Snatchy effect, synchro with the negated Snatchy and the other guy, make the Lollipo again. I then go Snatchy effect again, cookie and the Lollipo into fucking Starham. And then go Starham. The Starham. The Starham. And I summon back Cookie, pop the Habakiri. He passes on just Mirakumo prayers. Or sorry, Mirakumo trap, I think. No, Mirakumo on field, trap in the graveyard is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Lollipo. Lollipo effect, target the trap card. He activates the trap, attributing the Mirakumo. What does the trap do again? I forget.
You tribute a monster you control and then summon another like reptile from a graveyard.
Okay. I think he does this, and then he activates Mirakumo, and I bell the Mirakumo, and that's like the end of that game.
Yep. But I want to just say this, because Grant... this entire moment while Grant's going through this is it's so funny, because me and Adam...
No.
Go for it. Go.
I just want to say, before he gets into the story, important context. If you look at my old deck profiles, I have like 3 yummy deck profiles from the past like 3 months. In 2 of those 3, I am dog shitting on this fucking card because I fucking hate the Starham. It's like a -1 that reborns a guy. Like, you have so much. I've never needed it. I've never even conceived of a situation where I wanted it before today. I was sitting there literally like, this card never fucking comes up. I had it in my extra deck for like a month, never came up. I cut it, still never came up. This is literally the first time it has ever come up. Ever. And I have very publicly dogged on this card. And then Sam is a very good advocator of, he likes the Starham, and so he said so in his deck profile he made when he got like 11th place or something like that with Yummy. So he's a very staunch advocate of this card, and I fucking hate it. And that's been our like the dichotomy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell the story, Nick.
Okay. So Grant hates the Starham. He hates this card with a burning passion. But me and Adam, we show up on day 2 because we're going to do the OTS 3v3 with Grant, and we're waiting for him to finish his last round, knowing he's not going to make top because he had lost round 4. So we're just kind of hanging out waiting. So let's watch. We'll watch Grant. We'll watch him. And in game 1 of the only game of the entire weekend I've watched Grant play, he makes Starham, and he death stares me. When he summons Starham, he goes, Starham effect, pitch your card, and I look at him with those shit-eating grin I can produce, and I could tell his blood was boiling. He was so mad. He was so mad at the world that this had to happen.
I would have preferred to lose that match, honestly, to be honest.
There's no way.
You should have.
I don't think you would have.
I should have thrown.
Should have gone summon Starham, no effect.
But I was sitting there like, oh. Because like when he had it up there, I was like, what can he do here? Like, what could he do to out this Murakumo? And I was like, oh, I see one way, but I don't think Grant's gonna want to do it. And then when you did it, I was like, oh, he's gonna do it.
That's growth. Using the cards you hate.
The funny thing is, I only played the Starham because I was playing Silvera because I thought Super Poly was going to be popular this weekend. It wasn't. But if it was, then like that line comes up a lot into Super Poly, so you can turn off your opponent's Mud Dragon and actually play the game. It coming up in this situation was just kind of a coincidence. But I'll put some respect. The Starham is not as bad as I thought it was. It's not a good card, but I hold that to be true. But it did win me this match.
He also said, and Grant's overselling. He made that card like twice throughout the weekend outside of this one game. He said this to us like outside of this.
I made it in the OTS just because like it was like another situation that came up. And then there was like another match where I made the Silvera. I see. But I made the Silvera in that situation because it did piercing, not because I needed to book everything.
Okay.
So, and then the next game, he had a play, I purged the play, and then I proceeded to kill him.
Yeah, that match was like the most
was bad.
Yeah, he did. He had 2 cards he shit on were the ones that let him win the last match of his day. It's crazy.
That's true.
Actually,
no,
crazy.
Yeah, draw face. He goes prayers. I go purge. He's like pass, and I'm like, all right. I can live with that.
See, sometimes it's good. Granted, his hand was good enough to play around that if he distributed a dude. He just chose not to.
Yeah, he just didn't. Yeah, you can do like I've had this thought experiment where if you have like Purge Habakiri, how do you play that? You can do the thing where you go Purge Tribute Habakiri, but I think
You mean prayers, but yeah.
I think there's an Prayer Strip Habakiri. I remember not liking that play for a reason, but I forget why. I think the play I preferred was to go Habakiri main phase, search with Saji, and then wait to see what your opponent does, and then purge, or sorry, and then prayers after that. I forget why I liked that line better. There's something it played around that I wanted to play around.
I think that line that you're saying is probably better. I think if you have prayers plus any name that's not Habakiri, you just always tribute. There's no reason to not. Like it's
Yeah,
just so
you just get
much
the free
value.
search.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty much my run. I went 10-4, which doesn't sound that good, but I'm very proud of it.
More wins than the listeners had.
That's true. Fuck y'all. No, it's also 4 more losses than the listener had, if you want to look at it that way. Unless you were at Pittsburgh, in which case it was probably like 1 more loss than y'all had.
That's true.
You had the
But
same,
I'm
you
pretty
had the
proud of-
same number of losses I had. Just saying.
Yeah, but
And
I
me.
won. But I won like 6 more games.
Wow. If you want to get
well.
technical, I think we all went X4.
Yeah, true. See, he's not wrong. We all went
That's
X4.
true, that's true. Oh yeah, what'd you guys pull out of your day 2 pack then?
I just gave it away. You know, I didn't even look. I'm a big charity guy.
Oh, actually,
I
speaking
donated
of
it
that,
to a nearby homeless shelter, actually.
I was talking to some people, and it looked like a lot of people were just selling them like at the venue for $100 a pop. And I was sitting there like, I could just sell it, but like it's my first day 2 pack like ever.
No, I definitely keep mine.
And I
If
think
I
I
didn't, have such a passion for helping those in need.
right. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna open mine, and if it's a shit card, I'll put it in my binders like a keepsake, and that'll be it. But I pull Caesar, which is probably like the 3rd best card to pull. I think it's the only card that like I would actually play in a deck.
I
You know
feel,
what I mean?
you say this, but I think if you pull the Cyber Dragon, you would most definitely put that in your Cyber Dragon stuff. Like, you might not
I mean,
play it
that's
that
true.
often, but you would play it in your Cyber Dragon cards.
You see, the nice thing about the Caesar is it's just like useful enough to like for me to play, but it's not useful enough. Sorry, it's too useful for me to not play, but it's also like not. How do I phrase this? It's not too much value as to where I'd feel bad about it. Because if I pulled like a Cyber Dragon, I'd be like, I could play this, but it could get damaged, and I could also just sell it for like $300. But it's Caesar, so it's like,
No,
I don't
get
feel
you.
bad about hanging on to it.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. Like, I think again, when I feel like depending on like what it is, like if it's a card you like and you actually could use, I would keep it. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you pull.
Yeah, it's going straight to the Chimera Core.
Yippee!
I do really like that the first like day 2 pack card I pull is a card I can play in my favorite deck. That is very nice to me.
That is kind of sweet.
I definitely lucked out with the pull. But yeah, I think this weekend was really good, not just for like me or the team, because it was only okay for the team, but it was really good for just Yu-Gi-Oh! I just played a lot of fun games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I honestly God thought this format was also going to be bad. But I think that if you guys remember like 3 episodes ago on the pod, and I'm saying like I think this format's going to be pretty decent. This is, with Yummy Mitsu notwithstanding, this is the format that I thought we were going to get. Like
Yeah.
before the last emergency ban list.
I think that's what a lot of people agreed. I don't hate this format. I genuinely don't hate like what we've developed into. I don't even hate Yummy Mitsu that much. I think that deck, inherently speaking, is beatable. I think like uninterrupted, like it's a god. Like, the deck's goated. But I think if you hand trap it a couple times, like it's beatable. Generally speaking, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a high roll deck. It's just a high roll deck.
In a way, it is. I don't know. I just wish there's more. I wish certain decks were more viable. So.
He wants a K9 deck to be valuable.
I like the K9 cards, and the K9 card decks are not that good right now. Like, a good job to Milano for getting 10th place with VS K9. That guy's the GOAT.
He's goated.
Like,
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think this format's fine. I really like it. But I also, my taste in formats is not necessarily what makes a format good. I have the brainworms.
You're notorious for picking. No offense, notorious for picking bad formats. Just saying.
I don't know what it is, but I really like bad formats. No, I think it's literally I did well, so format good sort of thinking. Like right now.
That's true.
That's
Like-
what most people end up saying. I would agree.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I'm kind of. I wish there was more regionals happening before the ban, like the inevitable ban list we're gonna get. I'm not really expecting one until very early next year, personally. And we've got 2 regionals from then until now, but they're both like one's at the very end of December, right before Christmas, and one is at the very beginning of January. So I'm like, just kind of chilling until then. We have 6 weeks of kind of nothing. Are there YCSs happening between then and now?
There might. I think there might be like one, like South American one or something like that. I haven't.
All right, so South America, so it's not even going to be streamed, you know?
Yeah, there's not gonna be any streamed event or anything. I don't believe.
So
Again,
I don't know. I feel
we're
like I'm
entering,
in a
the-
place where. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say we're entering like the period of the year where like everything is just kind of like chill, like calming down for the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like my want to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is like really high right now, just hot off of this, and I feel like my ability to play is very low just because there's nothing fucking going on. It's like you remember how last year Malice came out around like right in like early December, and I was like really testing for that deck for no event that was gonna come up. Like that's how I kind of am right now. So I'm just kind of sitting there like, well, I have like I've revised the Sulfur build, but I can't do fuck all with it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, I think I might want to do a remote regional just to play the deck again.
No, I feel that. It looks like there's the remote dual YCS in the first week of December, but that's the only like thing. There's also one in Mexico for a YCS.
That sounds awful. I might do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would blame you.
I'm just enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I don't know what it is.
You guys look good right now. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, that's like perfectly fine. I watched a couple of the matches, both live at the venue and after the fact. The gameplay, not perfect. Someone did win a game, I think, with the Water Barrier statue combo for Mitsu that we were talking about last time.
Yep.
Sure, fuck it, whatever, who cares?
Sigh.
All over, like the duels were generally much better. I remember seeing the Aditya almost lose another match to not reading his opponent's cards.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
This man's a god.
He's
he's
so
literally
like
so
me for
good
real
at the
though.
game that he just literally says, "I don't need to read cards. I'm too good at this game."
He's so like me
He
for
had
real
the
though.
bestial in hand. We saw it get belled. He
He-
had the answer.
He had like nib into the fucking guy, and I'm pretty sure that fucking Mimigal card that burns is an ignition, right?
It is. It is.
He could have just nibbed. He's so like me for real.
Yeah.
He won that match though. Thank the fucking Lord. He also won the YCS. And if
Oh,
you
yeah,
watch
that.
if you watch the last match, it is just dreadful. Like John Wilkins just bricked like twice.
Mitsu Yummy.
And that's why
woo-hoo.
Aditya's my goat.
Yeah. Well, sorry. The first one was like a brick. He drew like 3 engine requirements for the Mitsu half.
He,
One of the
actually,
reasons, like,
he was main
fucking.
decking the trap card, a Croaky, and like literally and playing the big Mitsu package. Like,
I just can't. I can't do the big Mitsu package. Even if I were playing Mitsuyami, I'd be playing like the Triff like small package. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is about that big package. It's just there's too many shitters. I'm not
I think
leaving up my
drawing
yummy
Fusu
deck with
is pretty
Kusanagi.
Good.
but Kusanagi's such a good card.
It is a great card in Mitsurugi, but keep it away from my Cupsy. I don't know. Like, part of it's like Futso is a fucking monster of a card, but also you do sometimes draw it. So, like, I don't know, man. I just can't do it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's again, deck building for the Mitsu Yummy deck is like you're picking like what you want to lose to. Do you want to lose to variants more often, or do you want to lose to like heavy engine? Like that's the choice.
As
Yeah,
your
that's
opponent drawing the full Mitsu Yummy combo.
that's one of the reasons I really like the Sulfur version of Yummy is that I think I bricked for the first time after, like, I was playing functionally the same list at the YCS as I did like the locals yesterday, and I bricked for the first time against Nick at locals yesterday with the list.
It was
I didn't
extremely
brick.
funny. It was so funny. So funny.
It was literally the first match. But I didn't. I played like 18 one-card starters, and I boarded down to 14 going second. I bricked. I don't think I bricked at fucking all the entire 2 days. I think there was a couple times where I drew like no starters, but Fuwa'd into a starter, or I top deck a starter. But I didn't. I was playing the game every single time.
And you at least had a play every single game.
Yeah, there was like a line that I could do that would get a Cupsy on the field to search 2 guys and then continue. Literally every single game, which was super, super nice. Because it's like I'm kind of known for playing like high ceiling combo decks that are inconsistent at locals. Crazy, I know. So to play a deck that just never fucking bricks is really nice.
Yeah, I can imagine. Isn't it? How does it feel to play a mid-range, like a more mid-rangey deck that you can do that? Because as someone who normally likes playing those decks, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
It is, dog. It is nice. I think I'm growing up, to be honest. I think I'm just growing up. I think I'm just becoming an adult. You know, I just turned 25. Brain stopped cooking.
We don't
and
have time
now
for all
I'm
them
liking mid range a
combos
little bit more.
anymore.
I think that the combo decks that I like are like Mermail or Vanadium, where they're good going second. You know, but I will be real. Yummy is a top 3 deck of all time for me. I think I fucking love this deck.
I'm not to rain on your parade, but again, making day 2 for the first time ever with the deck it pretty helps. I bet it helps.
It definitely, yeah. Also, like, and again, I did well, so format good, obviously, but I've gotten like 3 invites with it thus far in like 4 months. So, you know, I feel pretty good about my quality of player with the deck too.
No, I get you. I feel you. Again, Adventure Sprite's one of my favorite decks of all time, and I got my first day 2 with that deck. So I genuinely I feel you. I feel where you're at.
And he continues to suck off the adventure cards to this day.
Yeah, I love those cards. And you will suck off the yummy cards until the fucking day you die. I guarantee it.
Okay, that's different though, because Cupsy has aura.
Enchantress has aura. What the fuck do you mean?
Enchantress's aura is setting itself to the banishment to search out Rite of Aramis-Seer.
After you've discarded it for insane value.
No, I'm pretty sure you don't know the feeling of going activate Droplet, send Enchantress, and your opponent going, fuck!
I do! I played that deck at Nats like 2 years ago!
Did you play Droplet?
No, I think it was bad that format.
Right,
I remember.
I see. You don't realize how good that feeling is.
You people are so fucking annoying.
This is true, and we will continue to be.
I start a podcast with the 2 biggest dick riders for the adventure cards on the planet.
You made this choice. You agreed.
That's true. No, but no, like Cupsy Yummy is a very fun deck. We did an OTS 3v3, me, Nick, and our buddy Adam, where basically people could represent an OTS store in a 3v3. It was really fucked because it was like best of ones. You played game ones. It was really weird.
This entire format was the worst possible layout for the deck I had brought. I brought Memento.
I wasn't even gonna mention how quickly you got mogged the entire time.
We need to talk. This just makes me so mad. If I knew the rules, I would have changed my list. I went in main decking six breakers with Fua Droll, and I was like, all right, cool. And this is what happened happened every round except for one. I would lose the die roll because again I can't win die rolls at a big event lately. Can't win them, so I lose the die roll. I get comboed onto the sun by Mitsu, and then I played against Galax Tachyon. And let me just tell you,
that was so funny.
I was like, you've got to be shitting me. My hand is so bad it loses to one interaction. I finally get to go first. I go first, or no, I lose. Now he makes me go first, and I'm like, you're shitting me. You're fucking kidding me right now. So I go, okay, I have like one play. I do my one play. He gets Ash. I'm like, cool, pass. And then he gets a near OTK line off on me, and I just die because I can't do anything. And I can't crash my guys in to get value, or I can't do anything, and I just lose. Like,
it was so fucked up, honestly.
I wish I had Ash and Azuna in my main deck. That would have helped so much.
Best of one in a 3v3 is crazy.
Yeah, I was kind of frustrated because I was like, why did I register a sideboard I wasn't going to get to use?
That's true. They did have us register a sideboard. But one of our first match, we were talking about talking to our opponents, and our opponents were like, "Oh, what's your team name?" And I was like, "Well, Thomas at Capital City TCG." By the way, shout out to Capital City TCG for sponsoring us for this event, I guess.
That's awesome.
We still had to pay for it, which is so super weird, but whatever.
Oh, we had to pay for it, yeah. But like he submitted us for the event, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But where was I going with that? They were like, "Hey, what's your guys' team name?" And Thomas submitted it as Cupsy Wupsy. Because at locals, I don't know if I've done this bit on the channel yet. I might have done it in like a match review.
What do you mean?
I think you have.
I've done it in like a match review. But at locals, what I do is I have this field center that Nick got me a while ago, and it has Cupsy on it. It's like the Cupsy one from like the things at Meyer, I guess. It has Cupsy on one end, and it's got kind of like the silhouette on the other end. So I will go to my opponent, and I will hold it in my hand like I'm flipping a coin. I'll ask him Cupsy or Wupsy. And they'll say either Cupsy or Wupsy, and I flip it. It'll land on the thing, and I'm like, all right, face up. I don't tell them this, but everybody understands it. Face up is Cupsy, face down is Wupsy. And I lose this most of the time, if you'd believe it.
It's the punishment.
It really is.
It is.
And every time I do like the Triff bit, where every time I summon Cupsy, I go Cupsy Wupsy effect. So we're talking about to our opponent. We're like, yeah, we're Team Cupsy Wupsy, and I'm like, because there's this really annoying fuck at our locals who keeps going, oh, Cupsy Wupsy effect whenever he activates Cupsy, and he's the most annoying piece of shit I've ever seen. We start our match. All right, normal Cupsy Wupsy effect. The entire time, Nick is beaming me down with fucking laser eyes.
Yeah, I think again, there are very few bits that I don't like. I deal with of bits.
And all the bits he doesn't like come from me.
That's that's not true. That is not Adam and Rico produce some really bad bits. All right, there's some bits I cannot stand, but this Cupsy Wupsy one, nah, not a fan.
It's very funny because I think I don't remember. I've never looked this up, but Nick told me it like a couple years ago, so I believe it to be true. If two players disagree on the randomness method for starting a match, the default is rock paper scissors. I think I have to check that some one of these days. So whenever somebody says, "No, I will not call Cupsy or Wupsy. Let's high roll," and I'm like, "We disagree on the randomization method. Rock paper scissors."
Again, I need to check this because I got those like years ago, and I need to double check. Solely on the fact that they have updated the policy so many times, it very well could have been removed at this point. But I remember at some point in Yuga's history, that was the default. That was for sure the default.
I hope it's still that because I am so far 100% in rock paper scissors after they fail the Cupsy Wupsy check.
That's so funny.
That's crazy.
That's so funny.
Which is very funny considering I lose most of the Cupsy or Wupsies. All right, let's talk about the results of the YCS. YCS Pittsburgh.
I have
results. Enter on my Google.
All right, I'll walk through this while Grant's pulling up. So for top 32, we have 11 Dracotail, 7 Mitsuyami, 2 Lunalight, 4 Malice, 2 Pure Yummy, which they are Sulfur Cord Yummy, but they are pretty much pure Yummy. 2 pure Mitsu, 1 playing Fiendsmith. 1 Vanquish Little Canine, 1 Striker, 1 Canine Crystron, and 1 Gem Knight. Then, as we move into the top 8, there are 3 Dracotail, 2, or I think all of them are playing branded cards. Then you have 4 Mitsuyami and 1 Lunalight. And we come out to the winner of being Aditya playing Dracotail with a very minimal branded package and not playing the Fallen Virtuous anywhere in his deck.
Did you guys see that this is Aditya's first YCS win?
That's crazy.
I just kind of assumed he'd won a YCS by now.
There's no way that's it. This is no way his first. I don't believe you.
This is his first. I checked. I double checked.
What? Didn't this man win nationals multiple times? I feel like
he has won nationals once and got second place at nationals the following year, which was this year.
Huh. Okay.
And if he had read his opponent's card, he would be a 2 times nationals winner. I will say that.
That's crazy.
Okay. Good for Aditya. He was on Dracotail. Very Aditya kind of deck, I think.
Mm-hmm. He was also playing 2 Secretarian, which unironically, the more and more I play this deck, I really want 2 Secretarian. That card is unironically one of the best cards in this deck.
That's one that reborns, right?
It's the one that reborns one, and in bottom deck's another one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that seems pretty good.
And
I'm
the
looking at his
floodgate.
list. I'm looking at his list right now. It just seems pretty cookie cutter for Dracotail. I think he's playing Droll main deck, which is interesting, but that's pretty much it.
The more I've been thinking about this because I'm really trying to understand why you'd main deck Droll in this kind of deck. But something I this happened to me over the weekend. I completely had forgotten this card is this. Droll is a spellcaster, so at bare minimum, it is half of a Secretarian or half of a
Yeah.
Mysterion. Like at the bare minimum, it is good fusion material. At the in the worst case scenario, so I kind of get it.
Yeah. Best case scenario makes your Mitsuyami opponent pass.
Yeah, and then if you have to use it for fusion material, it is still a spellcaster, so it does the job.
Yeah. Moving on to second place, John Wilkins. He played the small package for Mitsu in this Yumi deck. I think that was more popular. I could be wrong. I saw more small packages with trap in main deck than I did large packages.
I think that's correct. I think most people going into the event should have been main decking the trap card solely on the fact that everyone was on Dark Ruler main.
Yeah. Oh, I'll talk about actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's talk about our lists after we're done with the results.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot to mention that. I'm just looking. I'm just scrolling through the other list. There was a Lunalite that made top 8. This list looks much different than the ones that I've been seeing. Where I feel like I've seen a lot of Lunalite recently go for like a really heavy breaker approach because you don't give a shit about like any of the very basic Yummy Mitsu Dracotail interactions. But this one was playing like a very heavy hand trap approach, which is interesting to me.
It's different. I don't think it's bad. I think it just depends on how you want to what you're scared of and what you want to respect in the format. You know what I mean?
Yummy Mitsu. We've got 2 Malice in top 16. It looks like both playing there. It's Malice. It's Malice. 1 Sulfa Yummy. Looks pretty much just like mine. So we'll talk about that when we get to my deck. There were Milano got top 16 with a Vanquish Soul deck, which Nick mentioned earlier. Very funny.
His deck list is clean. I have to. It's extremely clean.
Fudge made it with Pure Mitsu, which was interesting. A Sky Striker made top 16. And everything else is kind of like either already talked about or just kind of whack-ass rogue.
Yeah, kind of.
Popular cards for main deck were some people were on Super Poly if you could afford the extra deck space. Most people were not. Ash, Bell, Droll, Fua, were the kind of the main hand traps. Dracotail was playing Nibiru, Yummy was playing Imperm, etc.
Something I didn't realize, but I'm looking through a lot of these lists. Is it common for Mitsuyomi to only be on 2 Snatchy? Is that common? Is that like the standard?
That is common. That is actually common.
Okay.
The reason being is you have a lot of Link 1s in this deck, and it just comes like you get so ahead with the end board that you don't need the 3rd Snatchy for the grind game usually.
Okay.
Because usually for my opening combo, I will use 2 Snatchy to get 2 in rotation because you want to keep 2 in rotation at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 3rd one I'll usually use for follow-up. But if you're relying a lot on the Mitsu cards for follow-up, you don't really need the 3rd Snatchy. That was something that Triff popularized at Anaheim, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sulfa Yummy, I think, is still playing 3 Snatchy no matter what. Because that's more of a needs Yummy follow-up kind of deck.
Yeah, that tracks.
Anything else we want to say about these results before we move on to our deck lists?
Nah, watching day 2 was pretty cool.
Yeah,
they were.
Say that about Anaheim.
I was really hoping to make the feature match for day 2. It just didn't happen though.
What a shame.
I know. I would have done so
need
many
to talk.
annoying bits. I really wanted to be in a feature match against like somebody who's just not very good, so I don't have to like be nervous about losing a feature match.
I see.
I'll pull up my list first.
Sure, buddy.
We will. If you guys remember to send these to me on DB, I'll link them in the description.
Okay.
Actually, through the power of editing, you can now see my list on screen. Hold on. You can now see it on screen.
Oh,
Congarma
he's playing
Larvidens.
the Starham?
The Starham.
Actually, Noah, do you have your list in DB?
Oh, no.
Okay. Can you send me a screenshot of it? Like, of any form of the list?
Oh, God. I don't know if I have that.
Is it the same as your regional list?
Except for the extras different. Here, while we're talking, I'll just
Yeah, build it real
since
quick while
not-
me and Noah or me and Nick are talking.
Oh, I don't even have branded fusion in this.
All right, so my list is on screen for y'all right now. It's pretty standard for Sulfa Yummy. Not much to be said about like the main deck. I wasn't convinced on board breakers. I actually thought most board breakers were like giga ass this weekend. Like it's very hard to actually, at least with Sulfa Yummy, it's very hard to actually break a Mitsu Yummy board. The interaction is just too layered. You end on 2 Omni Negates. I just felt like board breaking was a bad idea, especially with everybody main decking the trap. So I opted to just play like a very heavy hand trap approach and then board into Dark Ruler. So that way going second, I could like Ash or Droll them or like hit them with a hand trap to stop them from getting the Omni Negate, or maybe just ending on pure Yummy stuff and then Dark Ruler for like the rest of their board. Which was moderately successful. It worked out pretty well. Pretty much every card in my list felt correct. Couple exceptions in the extra. I don't think I needed Silvera, but I liked having it, but I don't think I needed it. And the Musicia is definitely not needed. I thought it came up much more than it did. It just really never came up.
I get it. It comes down, if you play the card, it's like if you want to respect him or not. Like, that's the big point of the card.
Well, it's if you want to respect Nib, but it's also if you want your Primoa to play through Nib on its own, or if you don't. Because if you draw any name with Primoa, it plays through Nib if you don't play Musicia. But if you only open Primoa or only open Happiness, it doesn't play through Nib on its own without this card. I think my personal stance is if I'm going to do a 1-card combo, I'm fine with that 1-card combo losing to Nib.
Okay, fair enough.
Plus, I play like 10 names. That is actually interesting. I didn't see... Were the rest of the Sulfa lists playing the same names as I was? It looks like they were. So I opted to go with like 10 names. A lot of lists are only playing like 3 Cup C3, Marshmallow, and 1 each of Cookie and Lollipo. I wanted to play like more names because drawing the names hard is the way to play through like Fua and Droll the best, and that did come in handy a good chunk. But yeah. Everything, the list is fairly, standard. Everything felt pretty good.
That's good to hear. I think the list was good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, literally at the exact same time you were done, I finished putting together the list. Great, that list was very interesting. I'm really glad that the extra names came up because I personally hate when it seems like the best thing for a deck to do is play the least amount of engine. I don't know, it's just a weird thing.
Yeah, I very early in testing with the Sulfa cards, it became clear that like Droll and Fua really fuck up your day. But the way to play and like any of the names from a 1-card combo perspective do pretty much the same as every other name. So like I didn't mind drawing an extra name instead of like another like pure erase map to find the Sulfa cards if it meant I got to play through Nib or I got to play through Fua and Droll a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I did board out of 3 Yummy names going second because they are not good to draw in multiples going second.
Yeah.
This is true.
I've got Noah's list pulled up right now. You want to talk us through it?
Yeah, there's not really much to talk about, I don't think. I did 41 mostly because K9s with Lupus made siding patterns a lot easier. I played Azuna and Lupus. If you heard me talk about it whenever we went over the regional 2 weeks ago, I just really like what these cards provide. I felt like I liked them every time I drew them. I did not feel like that this time, but that's just because I made Tiras with them, and then that got dropleted, which was the only way for the Yummy Mitsu board to out it, but damn did it blank my battle phase when I needed to out a Herald.
But in those scenarios, like, Droplet wasn't the most common card in that deck. Like, some people were playing, but it looks like, I think that's just unfortunate variance. You paired into
this is true.
The few people in the room that said, I'm going to play Mitsu Yummy and I'm going to play Droplet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That it is very true. That I feel like that was just a good call by my opponent that happened to beat what I thought was my good call.
No, because I'm looking at all the lists that ended up making top 32, and only one of them is playing Droplet anywhere in their list.
That's crazy.
Is that Sako's list?
No, that is Karen Shamara.
Mm.
Oh, damn. I guess I don't even know if out meta called. But yeah, I also play the branded, which is why,
I know
you know.
Sako's. Sorry, just a tangent.
No, no, no,
Sako's
no.
playing. Sako and Sako's playing
Oh no,
Drunk
sorry.
Blade.
Sorry. I missed a couple. My apologies. There's three.
Okay, I was gonna say because I remember seeing it a good chunk, and I was like, no, I feel like I saw a lot of players playing it. Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. That's makes me feel better. I was outplayed by like a good decision. I saw some people cutting down to one dragon. I think Cotton go down to one pan and two Argala, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, I
Especially
saw that.
because I feel like with Mitsu in the format, the pan reborn effect just comes up a lot more.
I'd agree.
Though, he's probably a better player than I. I'd say it's like a 50-50 shot that he is. But no, I played the one Fallen and the Virtuous. I played the other in the side literally because I wanted to, and because Pank did me wrong. It lost one of its lives. So next time it fucks me over, it's going down to 0.
Oh my lord. Pink is that
Would
card
you
is not that bad. You were like dog walking Pink, man.
He betrayed me. He had 0 attack
To be honest,
when
I
I
did
needed him
lose.
most.
Pank actually did win a match from one of my opponents against me because he normal summoned or he special summoned Pank and it outed a guy plus a back row. So
Yeah, yep, it's pretty good.
It's not bad.
When
it
that
does
guy is
it does
Herald,
do
you kind
that.
of need it bad. I don't think I ever saw it. Fenrir was all right. He always is. Again, I didn't get Red Sea, but I also feel like I didn't see Fenrir that often. I didn't main Droll because I felt like Izuna was that high impact hand trap. I think not playing Mirror Jade did come up once, so that did kind of hurt. Whereas I don't think I ever actually even made it into Zeus. So I don't know if I necessarily want to be playing the K9 cards going forward just because I don't know. I feel like they're already the worst into the Draco Tails as is. And they're like not bad, but I feel like maybe the cost of not having like just drawing the crazy hands that just kind of win you the mirror when you're going second, being specifically the hands that like play through flame. But
Yeah, I think you're for like playing the K9 cards. I think your extra deck's just not very good if you're playing K9 cards into Dracotail. Like I don't think Valon is like that much value against Dracotail specifically.
But again,
I think
against Dragatail, you're just making Typhon. Like that's the plan you're making.
that is also true.
Hmm.
Which is it's all right. I think I did get to do that once. I think it got outed though. I forget how. Oh well, can't remember. Was that back at the Airbnb? Might not have even come up in the event. Liked it. Yeah, not much to say. Star Source was crazy yet again. Regis is awesome. I like these purple cards. That's my synopsis.
purple card enjoyer can't relate.
Cool ones though.
Only the base purple cards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I think we can move on to Nick here. All right, Nick, it is on screen.
This is pretty much very similar to the two regionals I take Memento to. The big change is I took Meowls out of the main deck, anticipating there being more Dracotail at the event than previously. Because previously we were in like the kind of like the D barrier turbo format. So with that being said, like I didn't really want to main deck Meowls because the card does literally dog shit into that matchup, and I didn't want to have any dead cards. It also made my deck closer to 40, so like I can't complain. Over again, this list felt really good. Like Droplin, Super Poly, those cards were houses all weekend. Every time I saw those cards, I was extremely happy. Like in like Droll and Fool, like they were the best hand traps you can play because they demanded an answer when they get dropped. And then my side patterns worked really well because I put Sheep and Horn Dragon in my main deck. So like for my side patterns going second to any given deck were really easy because I had two engine cards that were coming out every single matchup going second. So it just made everything super like swiftly and easily like in and out. Some bigger caveats or I guess like props to be given. I played 3 Creation King. That's not super common in Pure, but that over throughout the entire day was extremely nice because I didn't have to waste my time trying to put back a Creation King to make another one. So that was super clean. And then also, Ripper was the card of the weekend, the MVP. Every Draco
This shit was so fucking dumb.
It was I didn't realize how good it is. I played against so many Draco opponents. I put 2 5s on the board, and then if they had used any level of brain power, they used their 5 mana there, and if they didn't, then they lost their 5 mana. So like it was amazing. So generally, I would continue playing Ripper even if you don't play the Canine cards. It's just a massive like threat. If you put 2 5s on the board and say response, oh nothing, Ripper. So generally, deck felt really good. Cherubini and Typhon didn't really come up, but again, I didn't need the extra deck. You really, in reality, you're summoning like 4 to 5 cards out of this extra deck consistently. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Any big changes other than don't get your call by cross outed?
No. If he didn't have cross out, I'm pretty sure I cleaned his clock. I think I cracked his entire board. Like, it sucks, but I'm pretty sure that's just how the cookie crumbles.
True.
Mm-hmm. But no, I got nothing else to add right now.
I suppose I can turn the video off now. I suppose I just have 2 more questions. First one is, do we anticipate any of this format changing between now and the next ban list? Keeping in mind that end of December we're getting a new set. Sorry, beginning of December we're getting a new deck build pack, and end of January we're getting a new set, and probably a ban list sometime in January. Do we anticipate anything changing between now and then?
Define change.
Like in the metagame. Is this what it's gonna be, or do you think there's like room to develop here?
I'm pretty sure this is just gonna be the metagame, and when the new set comes out in December, people are gonna fuck around with the new decks, even though they are not good.
They are, and it's so fucking sad. There's like 2 decks in that pack that are so cool, and 1 deck that sucks ass, but is probably the best.
Flip Pendulum, baby.
Anayacraft has
So
potential, but I
excited for that
I
deck.
don't know what the deck's gonna do. Adam will show us at locals.
Yep.
If Adam gets like a top with an aircraft, I will lose my mind.
It's
You bet-
gonna happen.
I won't be surprised when it does happen. So
And then the other question I had was, it looks like top 32 was mostly Dracotail and top 8 was mostly Mitsuyumi. Which do we think is the best deck? Because I think there's compelling arguments for both of those.
Draco Tail because it doesn't break.
Low key, I think I agree with you.
I think if you look at like, this is really hard. I think Mitsuyami has a higher ceiling than Dracotail, and I think if uninterrupted, it is a better deck. But I think Dracotail is a better deck in the sense that it's more consistent and it's more apt to deal with interaction outside of like specific things like Retsi. So
Yeah, I'm inclined to think that Dracotail is the better deck just because like it's more flexible. It can go second a lot more easy. Like if you just draw like 3 shitters on the Mitsu half and like a Cupsy, like that's not gonna win you the game, you know?
I agree, but the other thing is like if you open well with the Mitsuyami deck, the deck is definitively the better deck. Like there's no discussion. Like even if you do get hit with the awkwardness, that deck is just better. I don't know. I think my vote for the better deck is probably Mitsuyami, but I think Dracotail is there. It's not even. I think it's very close to being the second best deck. Like there's no discussion there.
In a weird way, I think it's kind of similar to Pote format, where there was one clear, very consistent good deck, and one kind of high-rolly big deck, or good deck. It kind of feels like that to me.
I kind of agree.
I also had a side quest for this weekend, and that was I wanted to pill as many people as I could on Sulfa Yummy, specifically Mitsu Yummy players. And I think I got 3 of them to consider it.
And now he's coming on the podcast and talking about it.
Hey, if you want to day 2 the next YCS, read Primoa. That's all you need to do.
Figure it. Go on your phone right now. And
This
look up.
man, he's living on cloud. He's like on cloud 9 right now.
Oh, I'm ready to crash back down. I'm very proud of myself. I did a good job.
Listen, we're all happy for you. I'm extremely happy for you, Grant. I think I made that
And that's
clear
where it
over
should
the
end.
weekend.
And that's the end of the sentence. That's all we need to talk about. He's proud of me. Thanks, Dad. Do you guys have anything you want to mention before we hop off today?
I don't know. Shout out to our buddy who was 1 round short of day 2, even though he has not been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Our boy Gerchak, who's just like listening right now, shout out Gerchak. He functionally has not played very much in like maybe 6 months to a year. Like he's been very on and off. He'll show up to locals every now and again, but he was not grinding. But he went 6-3 at the day 1 of the YCS, and he made like 280th place. So we were all like pogging off for him. It was like he had an insane performance relative to his previous like performances and relative to how much he's actually played the game recently. So shout out to that guy.
I'm again not trying to discredit Gerchak's like performance. I'm just saying, if someone who's not played in 6 months to a year did this with Mitsu, maybe the Mitsu cards are a problem. Just saying.
So mad. He's so mad.
He's so mad.
He's only saying this out of anger.
I hate the Mitsu cards. I hate
me
the
and
Mitsu
Gerchak
cards.
walking up to the standings on day 3, like, or on day 1, like, ooh.
I'm not trying to discredit. I'm just saying the Mitsu cards are
It sounds like my boy Gerchak's getting dissed, and I cannot stand for this.
I'm not dissing Gerchak. Stop it.
I will not stand for this. I'm currently sitting down for that reason.
I'm dissing the Mitsu cards. I think the Mitsu cards are broken.
And also, since we said he doesn't play that much, the play he does get is fantastic because it's literally he just gets on with JP and I every Thursday night while you guys are at locals. So,
they do Evo 2. They do Evo 2.
So
that's correct.
Yeah,
there's
shout
this
out
bit.
Evo 2.
There's this bit that they started where there's a local in our area on Thursdays, and it's like the locals, right? It's at Evolution Games, and so we all go. But all the people who aren't local anymore but still want to play Yu-Gi-Oh on Thursdays, like, hop on Discord, and they do like testing sessions at the same time we're at locals, and they call it Evo 2, which is
apparently we did
very
some
funny.
Pretty good.
And
work.
apparently it's fucking incredible practice, you know.
Apparently it's worked out.
So I'm doing Metafy coaching now. You guys can see that in the description.
Yeah, peep the Metafy, peep the description.
Yep. Starting rates are around 50.
All right. And I think with that, we will call it there. We will see you guys next week for match review. Peace.
Adios.
See ya.